is Jaden and welcome back to another video. And if I look the exact same in the outro of this video, it's because I filmed them obviously on the same day. But anyways, for today's video, we are going to be making Worry Buddies, or as I call them on their packaging, Pocket Pals. These are basically just like little clay things that you can keep in your pocket, your purse, and they're great, just like a little thing that you can carry around with you, you know, just kind of like almost like a little comfort thing, kind of like that. But they're also really great if you fidget because they have a little kind of dip in them, so you can kind of like rub your thumb over them if you're just like, you know, feeling nervous or anything like that. This one I kept for myself because he got messed up, and you'll see that later in the video. But anyways, let's get to it. All right, so here is like the little sketches I have of like some ideas for some Worry Buddies. I have my own type of Worry Buddy thing made by Stay OK Studio, where it's basically just smooth clay coated in either resin or some sort of other varnish, and you can basically like rub it, you know, if you get like nervous or anxious or stuff like that. And so I thought I would try my hand at making some. So here's some of the sketches I have. I have like a lot of, well, that was crazy. I don't know what I was doing. I have a lot of different food themed ones, like cookies and a bagel bite and pizza, pancakes, a key lime pie. This one's like really cute. I don't even like key lime pie, but I just, for whatever reason, I think that sketch is super adorable. I also have some toast. I thought about doing a frog, but I think that's a bit too much, especially because I want these to be more on the simple side. Same with like the Zoo Pal plates. I think they're freaking adorable, but they might just be a bit too much, especially because I want to keep them on the smaller side. Like, I think this is like the little round. I think this is actually for cookies. I bought it at Michael's, but I use it for clay. It came in like a set with like these bigger ones. But yeah, I think, or I might use this size. It's a little bit smaller. I'm gonna have to clean it though. It's a bunch of air dry clay on it. But yeah, I do really like the Zoo Pal ideas. I might make something else using these Zoo Pals, especially like now that they're back. They were like such a thing of my childhood. I think I might, since I have so many embroidery hoops that I need to use, I might make like an embroidery hoop like wall hanging that looks like a Zoo Pal. But anyways, I'm going to be using this is just polymer clay, oven bake. I've never tried this brand before, so I don't know how good it is. But yeah, let's get started on making some little friends. I think most of them I'm just going to make round, again, because it's most likely going to be easier. I might try making like little zebra cake, because that's just like what, a hexagon. And then I think the toast would also be a super cute one. But like I said, let's get started. Okay, I haven't like even started like trying to roll this stuff out yet, and you can already see it's pretty hard. I'm gonna try to work with it and hopefully I'll be able to use it, or else I'm gonna have to get more. And then this was just a waste. Granted, I have had this for a while and it's my fault for not using it yet, but like at the same time, I don't know, I just kept putting it off, and that's my fault. But yeah, I'm just going to keep trying to like work this, get it kind of warmed up, kneading it, and then I'll be back like actually rolling it out, because I just now discovered how hard it is. So yeah, I'll be back in however long it takes me to get this nice and softened up. All right, I think I've gotten it to the point where I can get it rolled out. As you can see, I already started doing it a little bit. So I'm going to roll this out. I also wanted to say, like, as you can already see, there's like some fuzz and stuff in it. And I'm like, I'll try to get it out the best that I can, but I'm not going to worry about it a bit like too much, because everything is going to be painted over. So it's not that big of a deal if you can see it. But yeah, let me get to rolling. That sounded weird. Okay, let me shut up. All right, so I think I'm at a pretty decent like thickness, so I'm just gonna start punching them out using this particular cutter. I think this one is made for clay as opposed to this one, which I think was for like baking and stuff like that. And I'm also going to try my hardest to use up all of this polymer clay. Since it is clearly on its last leg with how hard it is, might as well go ahead and make a bunch of these little Worry Buddies out of it. I think these would be like a nice addition. I think I want to use them for the Red Bud Festival. I also think I might add some to the student made store for JMU. But yeah, here they are, a nice little circle. And then for all of them, I'm going to kind of like, I'm going to lay it flat. You can't see that, sorry. But like with my little, I believe they're called paunches. I think that's what Stay Cake Studio calls them. It almost has like this little like dimple, I guess you could call it, in it, where you can kind of see. I'll make this a little bit nicer, but do you see how it's kind of hard to see? But basically, I'm just going to kind of make it where it's like a little deep. I don't know how to explain this. I'm so sorry. But I'm just going to like press down a little bit into it just so it kind of has a nice little area where you can kind of like rub on it. Here's, oh, see, you can kind of see it like right there where there's almost like a little border, but it's not too sharp or extreme. But I'm going to do that with everything else, or with all of the other ones, just so that it's like a little thing again. Where it's be like nice to rub it like when you're nervous and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do with all of these little guys. This one has a little bit of air dry clay on it. I couldn't get all of it off of this rolling pin, nor could I get it all off of this. But yeah, I'm going to keep punching, and then I am going to do all of these little, or give all of them little divots. And like I said, I think I might try making some that look like the toast and the zebra cake, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm continuing just to make these little worry buddies, and I thought I would show you guys how I made this little toast. So I just cut out a circle, and then I had some of these other, I think these are like for earrings and stuff, like this kind of shape. And I used like the little corner to like cut a little bit out of the very top, then cut like a little slice out of this side, repeated that exact same thing with the other side, and then I went about just kind of shaping it. I realized polymer clay, it's quite easy to work with, like even though this was, you know, like really hard, and well, I was able to get it pretty softened up, but like something about, I think one of my issues when it comes to using air dry clay is I think I make it too wet, and I think that's why I struggle a lot with working with it, as opposed to this, which isn't like too bad, and it's also like really smooth and nice, as opposed to like when you work with like air dry clay, it can get like really lumpy and bumpy, or at least for me it is. Maybe it's just like a user error and I need to practice a bit more. But here's my little piece of toast, and I'm going to just go in, add the little dimple, whatever you want to call it, I don't know what to call it, and there we go. But I'm just going to continue using up the rest of this clay, and then we can get to baking it. But yeah, little piece of toast. All right, so I got the oven preheating right now, so I thought I would show you guys. Here's all of the little pieces I managed to get out of that block of clay. A lot of circle ones. We have just one for a zebra cake. I did like a triangle one, maybe to make it look like a Dorito. This little strawberry using the last bit of the clay, because I tried shaping it into something. We have some of these little rectangles that can look like Pop-Tarts, and of course the toast. And then there's some of these oval shaped ones. I thought maybe making them look like an avocado or a deviled egg or something like that. But I'm gonna need to get this transferred onto parchment paper because this is wax paper. Don't put that in the oven. I've made that mistake before without realizing it. But thankfully I was crafting something, so it wasn't actual food. But I need to get it onto some parchment paper before it'll go into the oven. Like I said, oven preheated 275 for like 15 minutes though. I think it said 1/4 of an inch, and a lot of these are a little bit smaller than that. But even if it does like get maybe like, I don't want to say burnt, but even if it like they get a little bit of color to them, just because they were in there a little bit too long, it's fine because they're going to be painted. Alright, so I'm going to get started on painting all of these little guys, but I thought I would show you guys the little like drawing I did over top of them on my iPad, just so could have some ideas. And then for some of like the blank ones, I just thought I would repeat some of the ideas that I did. Plus those could be ones that I could use possibly for like the student made JMU thing or something like that. I think the ideas are pretty cute. Love the cosmic brownie. I think he's so fun and goofy looking. And then I also made these little, they're called Worry Buddies or Pocket Pals, whatever. But this is like a little card I made for the packaging, and then like another one with like a cute little saying on it to go with them. But now it is time to get to work on these little guys. I'm going to coat them in some gesso first, and I'm going to be doing that while watching Wendigoon. Alright, so everything has been coated in gesso, and then these are all the pieces that I sorted out where like the main color basically for like pretty much the top and the bottom of them is going to be this classic caramel like apple barrel paint, just because I really like it. I think it's like such a nice color, especially for like baked goods and stuff like that. For like, cause like some of these are going to be like pizza and like chocolate chip cookies and stuff like that. And then so I think the color's going to work really well for these little guys. So I'm going to get to painting all of them and getting them ready. And then once these are like done and the main coat for them's done, I'll go to all the other, I'll go to all of the other little pals that need to be covered in their main color. So it's the next day after I finished up all of these little worry buddies by putting their faces and all the little details and stuff on them. So I am going to be varnishing them. Now I'm using this Marte, I guess that's how you pronounce it, gloss clay varnish. I've never used this before, so we're gonna see how it turns out. I got the idea, I believe their TikTok is Riley Rose Studio. If that's wrong, I'll correct it as I'm editing this. But they do a lot of like clay, especially like air dry clay crafts and stuff like that, and they use this varnish and they said it's really good, and I like the look that this particular varnish has. It looks like it is like similar to resin without it of course being resin, because I try to limit how much toxic stuff that I work with. So that is what I'm going to be using, and since I've never used it before and I don't know if it might cause some of this paint to bleed or not, I'm gonna test it on this little peanut butter cookie one because I'm not a big fan of how this one looks. It's kind of plain and boring, but let's get to it. The one thing I don't like about varnishing stuff is I feel like no matter how much I clean and make sure my area is perfect, like that one little piece of like fuzz or you know whatever, or like dust or whatever, like it makes its way into the varnish, which is such a pain. But yeah, anyways, let's get to varnishing all of these little guys. Okay, so I just put the varnish on this first little guy, and while it is nice and thick and stuff like that, it unfortunately caused the Posca pen that I used for their faces to smear. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't know if I could maybe either go over all of their faces with just like some acrylic paint, or if I could try just continuing to paint them, just be like really careful. Because like when I first put it down, it didn't really bleed or smear anything. So it might just have to do with like how much I was messing with it. But yeah, that's a bit of an issue, and I'm not 100% sure what to do now, especially because for this one, I used a Posca pen to draw on the lines and stuff for the basketball and not just its face. So that's a bit of an issue. But either way, the gloss, like the varnish, it does look quite nice. And like I said, I like how thick it is, but it's just, I don't know how to remedy this issue. But I'll figure something out. Okay, so all of the little worry buddies are finished, and I currently have them sitting in this little container. So now we are down to the very last part before these little guys are done, and that is doing the packaging. So in the last clip, you guys saw me printing them out. I printed out the little Pocket Pal backing cards, and I put like this little blank spot at the bottom so I can just like write down like whatever it is. And then I also printed out these little cards that are like, it doesn't matter if you're feeling sad or having a happy day, this little pal will be with you every step of the way. So I have that, so I want to get these cut out using my little thing. I cannot think of what it's called at the moment. So I want to get these cut out and then get them packaged up, and then they'll be done. So I have finished packaging up all of the little worry buddies, or Pocket Pals as it says on the little backing card, and in the back it has like the little card with the little saying on it. And that is the end of this video. So thank you guys so much for watching and coming along with me as I did this little journey of making these little worry buddies. I think these are totally something I would make again in the future, especially doing maybe like themed ones for like Tangier, so like a nautical type theme, stuff like that. And they've also got me really interested in wanting to work with polymer clay a lot more than I usually do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and try making worry buddies on your own. They're pretty fun.